Welcome to the shop. I'm Jared and this is the Questionable Garage. And this isn't a shop. It is a parking lot next to some school buses in Evansville, Indiana. And I drove all the way up to Evansville, Indiana because I was offered a free car. I wasn't the first person who was offered this car. As you can tell, I might be trying to attract a certain type of YouTuber with a bus and his car. Hi, Robert.
Hello. Would you like to try the local drink?
The local drink. The original Ski Lemon Orange.
Yeah. It's like
Real?
Mountain Dew, but not.
Okay.
It's not even bottled here. I don't know why it's the local drink, but it's popular here.
I've never seen this before.
Well, you're in for some sort of experience.
I can see why it's not caught on.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, you had a viewer reach out to you and offered you a free vehicle, a project that he was ready to move on from and didn't want to keep going with.
Yeah, he said there's a free car. I won't mention what it is yet. Would you like it? Would you like to come get it? Maybe you can use it for parts. I've been seeing the things that you're working on. Maybe you'd like some of the stuff from it. So I came to look at it and I couldn't move it.
So he thought of the first idiot that would be dumb enough to keep on trying. So I'm here to try to get this thing loaded up. Now you did call a professional and the professional showed up and was just like...
Yeah, I called a tow truck driver and they did attempt it. I will give them that. But they gave up really quickly. I would have too if I was that tow truck driver. I wouldn't want to mess with this thing.
Well, it's not in a parking lot here, so let's take a quick trip over and let me show you what the car is. Well, all right. If you guys are at all familiar with Robert with Aging Wheels, you know the type of vehicle he was offered was probably either something really weird or an electric vehicle.
Or it could be something entirely different because I'm all over the place. But yeah, it's usually in those two categories.
He drove out here, so it's probably one of those two things. And I gotta be honest, if you haven't seen the videos, you probably should. I just took an amazing road trip in a 66 Chrysler New Yorker where I burned an awful lot of gas and oil. And I kind of feel like after that kind of a road trip, I really should do something a little green. A little, that was bad. And if you guys want to do something green for your yard, check out today's sponsor, Sunday. Hello and welcome to my backyard where I'm getting ready to apply the Sunday product to take care of my grass. I actually don't have any grass back here because not too long ago, it looked just like that. And when I input my yard into the Sunday calculators, they basically said, you need a lot of help. And that's what I love about Sunday. Whether it's their simple, easy to apply nutrient pouches for an already established lawn, which editor Dwayne has been using for over a year. Last time we ran a Sunday ad, he subscribed and he's been religiously applying just this nice, simple nutrient pouch from the garden hose, and his lawn has never looked better. He is a big fanatic of having a nice yard, whereas I'm not. I have too much else going on, but as a DIY guy, I don't want to pay someone to plant a yard. I've got it cleared, I'm tired of muddy dogs, so I'm getting ready to tackle and try to make my lawn look its best. And what's great about Sunday is they don't use any harsh chemicals, nothing that's a mystery that you're afraid to put on your lawn. And if you're using those nutrient pouches, there's no pesticides. And with Sunday, it's incredibly easy. All you have to do is enter your address and they will help you build a tailored plan to make sure your lawn is getting the nutrients it needs to give you the maximum growth and green grass. And just in case your lawn has a couple extra tailored needed nutrients, they send out a simple core sample kit where you're able to send in a sample of your yard and they test it to make sure it has the nutrients your lawn needs. Once you have a tailor-made plan, they tell you when you need to apply during the year. They give you the date range and what product you need to apply. And again, be it this catastrophic lack of lawn where I need to plant seed and heavy fertilize it, where they just had to send me big heavy bags, or an already growing lawn that you want to bring peak greenness out of, Sunday has plans and options that are going to ensure you get the lawn you're looking for. We all love cool, modern, exciting tools, and Sunday is just that, the perfect tool to make your lawn look its best. Now, if you're ready to get your lawn looking better than ever by using sophisticated modern plant science, Like, they use science and satellite technology to figure out what your lawn needs. It's amazing. Head on over to getsunday.com/questionable and use code questionable30 for 30% off your customized plan. Again, that's getsunday.com/questionable. Use code questionable30 and get 30% off your first customized plan. That's gonna get your lawn looking better than ever. All right, I think we've kind of delayed it enough. What are we getting today, Robert?
It is electric. You were right. It's seen better days.
I mean, there's still a little delay reveal because it's so dark in there. Is that where the engine goes?
No.
Oh, there's a motor.
Yeah, there's one motor. There's another motor. It is a 2017 Tesla Model S P100D with the ludicrous upgrade.
With the ludicrous upgrade?
Yes.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the current state right now.
No. Why would you think that? It's only 600 horsepower. Only. It's you know.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I'm sure that makes it's on winter tires too.
Wow. That
the
is
charge
crunched
port.
a lot. Hey, okay, it opens.
It has been charged. He's been maintaining it. So the reason he's giving it away is because his health has deteriorated and he just wants it gone now. He bought this with the intention to rebuild it, and he doesn't want it to anymore. That's pretty much it.
Well, when you first mentioned it to me, I'm like, man, I might fix this.
Yeah.
I understand the optimism.
This isn't the first time I've been here. I came here to pick up this car on my own, but couldn't figure out how to move it.
So, if you're not familiar with the Tesla Model S, it's really kind of what has, in the modern era, mainstreamed electric vehicles. They've made them very accessible. There's kind of a cult following behind them, good or bad.
Yeah, this one was the tail end of the first generation of Model S, so it still had the old battery architecture. This one's a 100 kilowatt hour battery. It was capable of, I think, like 589 horsepower. That was like the peak of the battery output. Yeah. It's got induction motors front and rear.
So when you hear reference in an electric vehicle about kilowatt hour, the best kind of relative is fuel tank capacity, the amount of power you're able to carry with.
100 kilowatt hours, and this is going to sound ridiculous if you're not familiar with electric cars, is the equivalent of about 3.1 gallons of gasoline. But electric motors are so much more efficient that
they don't use power at all the same way.
Yeah.
There's nothing really horsepower-wise that would match this range. You could theoretically run 300 miles reliably on a good, healthy battery, right? If you're not running ludicrous mode.
I think the non-ludicrous ones, I think they were the first car to be EPA rated for over 400 miles of range.
Which, in modern car, picture a Camry, 4-cylinder Camry with a 14-gallon tank. That's so 100 kilowatt hours, but nowhere near the horsepower or violent acceleration.
Right.
So
a combustion engine only uses like 30% of the energy available in the fuel to actually move the car forward. This uses 90% of it.
Right. But let's look around some of our challenges. One, the suspension's disconnected. That's a problem. That wheel is broken in two.
Yeah.
That's another problem. Steering rack is broken, so that wheel points wherever it wants to. Airbags are fully depleted, so it's sitting on the ground.
I don't know what the word depleted is, but yeah, we'll go with that. These, it is in tow mode, so the parking brakes are released, but they're rusted and stuck to the rotors, and they have been for 5 years.
We could try to break that loose, but I had a different idea.
Yeah, you're gonna release it like a ship into the ocean.
Yep,
without the bananas.
We're just gonna try to ski it on, but I think before we do that, we could probably introduce the brave soul who wanted to rebuild this first.
Yeah.
This is Dennis, and you were the brave soul. I appreciate it. I'm all about questionable choices. And you looked at a picture and said, I could fix that.
Yeah, I thought I could. It was really interesting challenge. I did a lot of research. Bought the thing in May of 18, I believe it was, and got it delivered. They dropped it off in the street. I had to get a wrecker to come and get it to the edge of my driveway. Getting it in the garage was a chore. I had to take some OSB and lay it down and winch it into the garage. And then I found out how difficult Tesla parts are to get.
Yeah.
And the body shops, nobody wanted to mess with it around here. So anyway, in 2015, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I've been having health problems ever since. And it's time to move on, and I wanted someone to get it that would use it for something. The body shops and the junkyards around here just don't want to mess with these. They think they're exotic. They think there's problems with battery fires, and plus it's going to be a little bit difficult to get out of here. But I think Jared and Robert have what it takes to do it. And so I offered it to Robert, and he came and looked at it, and we took an attempt to get it out, and that didn't work out so well. But that was, as Robert said, reconnaissance. And he brought Jared with him this time, and I think we're going to get it done.
We'll get it drug out. So, well, and one of the big reasons is you always wanted to have a Tesla or some type of electric vehicle.
Yeah, without paying for it, of course.
Right. Try to get a deal. But that's one reason why I made sure Robert came back out.
Yeah.
He brought the Polestar. So while I back in and kind of get ready for the nightmare, why don't you guys go have some fun silently in a Polestar? And I will back in and then question my decisions several times, and then we'll get ready to introduce the plan of how he and I are going to make this thing and not be your problem anymore.
Thank you very much.
Lots of soap.
Lots of soap.
Lots of soap.
Let's go over our plan. First, we've got the jack to get it up enough to get these 6x6s underneath it, right?
Yeah, that's your plan. I don't know why I'm putting this onto you.
Before we put it underneath, we are going to... You have a dirty mouth. We are going to lubricate it very much with dish soap. We've got a cable winch snap block, so that way, snatch block, in case as we're pulling up, if I need to steer it a little bit, we can tie off to the stakes, which we can do quickly with the soft shackles. These things work really, really well. You kind of look at it and think it wouldn't actually hold any load, but somehow they do it really great. We got some D-ring shackles and just some slings.
It's like the reverse of launching a ship into the ocean, except instead of using bananas, you're using dish soap.
Yeah, we're dragging it out. So if you don't understand, back when they dry docked and would launch, they would lube the rails with banana peels and banana.
Because it's environmentally friendly.
Wouldn't taint the water. Little fishies have delicious food if they don't get crushed by the ship when it goes sliding in.
Granted, they're putting ships in there that are powered by heavy fuel oil, but whatever.
We're going to see how 12,000 poundy that 12,000 pound winch is.
There's going to be a lot of friction.
That's why we're going with the lube.
It's still going to be a lot of friction.
More lube.
More lube can't solve everything, cheers.
Why do they sell it in 55-gallon drums then?
Hello! Jared works incredibly fast, and we've already got both beams underneath the Tesla, and he's got the winch hooked up, and, well, here we go, I guess.
Alright, stand basically flush to the building if this breaks.
Right.
So now we're really going to test some pulling strength here.
Oh, jeez.
It's working.
Oh, wow, it is. This is crazy to me. I gave this about a 50% chance of working, and you're already moving it more than I did the last time with a tow truck.
But these boards are going to start pointed upwards.
Yeah.
And we'll have to hit the pendulum, and it'll drop. Well, let's get it a little closer. Time for second boards.
That winch is proving its worth right now. We got the next transitional beams in place. Will it slide from the lower beams to the... I'm going to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's moving the beam.
Yeah, that beam's sliding a little.
Sounds like wood movement.
Now they're both going.
Okay. This is horrifying. It's a floating Tesla. Look at that.
We're going to keep going a little bit more, and then we're going to jack it and reposition these.
Forget self-driving. Flying cars is where it's at. Oh, I see why it's dragging it. It's just digging in right down there.
It's caught on suspension?
It's caught on the subframe there. It's just kind of digging in and taking the board with it.
All right, so we'll untension real quick. Bombs diffused. Lift point on each side, reset them slightly.
Okay.
We got the wood reset. Now the whole thing's going to scoot back again.
Will it move the beams? Oh, it's moving. The car is moving. It is a big ship. Look at this. Oh, that is weird.
It's getting heavy on the winch.
Yeah. Your winch is proving its worth. Oh, this is working so much better than I envisioned. Hey, your winch is smoking. Stop.
Oh, yeah. Time for the winch to cool off.
Yeah, it's only good for 15 seconds every 45 minutes at full load. Yeah, if you check the duty cycle, I did the math.
Listen, I don't check duty cycles. We just send it.
15 seconds every 45 minutes.
Well, guess what? We'll give it a little break, but we're not giving it 45 minutes.
Just saying.
We got a radiator right there. We can make this work. We have to give the winch a break, but we're already off the first set of boards. This is working surprisingly well. How long has this... How long has it... Don't...
How long has it been here?
Yeah. How long has this spot been covered up?
Since June of 18.
Tesla needs to be shifted that way a little bit, so Jared's got the snatch block picked up right here, and he's hoping to pull it to the side. It's working. Stage 3.
Pulling straight, or is it going back to the fender?
Pull it straight. It's flying back here. Wow. In the time it took me to give up, we've already got it onto a trailer. Jared, how do you feel about your accomplishment here today?
I feel very good. That almost went too easily.
Don't say that.
Scary.
It's on now. Like we're well and beyond it. So I've got enough room to load up another engine I need to pick up.
Are you worried about someone stealing this off your trailer?
I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be impressed.
Look at this thing. I mean, it's on. It's been sliding on lubed up boards.
Well, that went surprisingly well.
That went scary well. I mean, how in the hell do you move a 5,200, 5,600 pound car that's flat on the concrete out of some guy's garage
With dish soap and wood.
and nobody dying?
No one dying. The plan worked. Generic Dawn from the dollar store.
Amazing.
And $280 worth of 6x6s and a winch that may be a little worse for the wear. Now, we did talk about possibly doing the New Yorker as an EV. And insert the picture right now. I'm on this same trip. I'm picking up a different drivetrain for the New Yorker. Some of you are excited about it. I kind of was potentially excited about an electric New Yorker, but we're going to keep that big block and going.
And the subframe, the rear subframe on this is a little bit broken
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, as we ratchet it down, some things were pointing in directions that It wasn't supposed to point to, and you hadn't quite discovered that yet because you were worried about the front end.
Yep, I was worried about the front end.
Well, not as advertised. We're going to unload it. Sorry.
And Robert and Jared did it all in about 2 hours. 2 hours, man. You guys are the men.
We got
Mostly him, let's be honest.
Listen, when you come up with a lot of questionable choices and ideas, you've got to be good at doing the wrong thing the right way.
T-shirt.
We've got her loaded up. I now have a dual motor drivetrain set up. We have a battery pack. This is potentially a little too far damaged to try to bring back. We can get a shell, and we can do more successful rich rebuilds and get a flood shell and take the crash parts, put it into a flood shell.
So the rear motor alone is capable of 630 horsepower. The front drive unit, I don't actually know what it's capable of. I think it's more like 300. You got lots of possibilities in here.
There's lots of things we can potentially do, but if you follow me on social media, also thanks to this guy right here, there's another EV that's coming to the channel very soon.
And Jared's been hanging out with me, and he's bought 2 electric cars.
But this other one's drastically way more historically significant and can quite literally be attributed to why Teslas exist.
Yeah, it's also a lot more pathetic.
You'll actually see it soon.
I say pathetic in a really nice way. It's a really interesting car. If you didn't buy it, I was going to ask you to buy it for me.
Maybe we combine them. But at any rate, I'm sorry, nothing broke. This is a good advertisement to really think through your questionable ideas and come up with a couple scenarios and practice it in your head. Because if you do, no one's going to get hurt.
Jared's a good example of one thing I struggle with in my shop is just overthinking everything, trying to come up with a billion different ideas, but never actually executing any of them. Jared came up with this in like an hour and then did it, and it worked. Don't overthink everything. I mean, think it through.
Yeah, think it through, but don't overthink it. Be like, all right, this logically can work. I've got to go a little further north, and then I'll be back south. And again, thank you to Sunday for sponsoring this episode as we go green with electric vehicles. Even though some of you don't like them, they have their place. They're fun. They let the people who don't like loud, obnoxious cars have something to drive around, so we can have loud
power. Sorry, I just got to be everyone on Twitter.
I'm Jared, reminding you guys to always make questionable choices. And Robert, you're on the spot.
It's the new spin. The new spin. I don't know. I don't have anything. Drink ski in Evansville, Indiana.
Thank you, Dennis.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you.
There's Robert stealing the Tesla wall charger.
It's an 80 amp EVSE. Jared doesn't even have an EV. He doesn't need this.
Way to show addresses on camera, too.